Hello YouTubers, this is Anthony Mwambazi from Antec Technical Services coming back to you with our short series of installations on inverters, solar system, backups and the like. So today we've just finished installing a 5 kilowatt Lux power unit with a whopping Greenrich 5 kilowatt battery, and it's basically a backup system. And I just specifically today wanted to answer a few questions I've been asked many times on a bit of in-depth on what exactly is happening on our wiring. So today I've decided to leave our distribution boards open, and so I'm going to start from the inverter. So actually let's start from the changeover switch. This is where our whole GIF thing starts from. So this is a basically simple thing. What we've done is starting from our mains power on the property, there was a single pole breaker. I've changed that to a double pole breaker. As you could see, there's a live and a neutral coming in from the top, so it breaks both live and neutral. So what I've done from there is my ESCOM comes in to my non-essentials, which is my geyser and my stove, and I've tapped that right at the top on essential. I've got my neutral bar from ESCOM, and then I've got my 40 amp breaker with a 6mm cable where I've tapped into ESCOM power that drives out, comes all the way to an SPD surge protective device that I've now tapped out from there into my changeover switch. And from my changeover switch, I then tap out into my inverter input, which is a 25 amp breaker that goes to the inverter's input, as you could see there, AC inputs. And then I've used my yellow and blue output from the inverter. And also something additional, we've also got a generator, by the way. I've have my generator wires in, and there's our switch. Back to my yellow and blue, back to the changeover switches output breaker, 20 amp, as you could see on top, to the changeover switch, and out from my changeover switch, I've driven it out to the main DB to another 40 amp breaker, which is now bringing back power to the DB, to the essential loads. At the bottom, as you could see, I've got my wires going in straight to the earth leakage. From the earth leakage, I've got my essential neutral bar, and I drive out live to my essential breakers, which are my plugs. As you could see on top, I've got two bus bars. There's my plugs and lights up there, and there's my earthing there. So that's where the separation comes in. My stove and my geyser are actually running off ESCOM, and my other breakers here are being supplied from that. That's so we now have two mains power. So if you're breaking power from a property, would be that breaker and that breaker. So basically, I just wanted to stress specifically what is happening. And I've noticed load shedding is over, ESCOM is back, and there again I've got Smiley smiling, and I've got ESCOM charging the battery, and just our usual. And we have our Mason fuse disconnector. I've got my Greenrich battery with my comms cable, dip switch 1 on the Greenrich, and I've got my bonding wire. So with the new Lux power inverter, with that serial number anything above 24, we're now using a normal straight cable from any networking shop. And just a brief cap as well with my generator line. Depending on what generator you're using, you have to tell the inverter to only draw the maximum amperage the generator can give, so you don't overdrive your generator. Well, YouTubers, it was a bit of a couple of minutes longer. I just wanted to stress what the inner lookings of the system looks like. And lastly but not the least, before I forget, I'm using a Surfix cable that is shielded, that doesn't have any interference, and that's the reason why I'm using one trunking, because my 6mm cable is a shielded cable and will not provide any form of interference between your DC and AC cable. Well, YouTubers, it's Anthony Mwambazi from Antec Technical Services. And again, you can catch me on 082 3427 946. And my website is www.antec.co.za. YouTubers, it was nice chatting to you. Enjoy the video.